50,000 soldiers, standing at the edge of the desert, the most powerful army in the known world, and they were about to walk into a trap they couldn't even see. This is the story of a battle most people have never heard of, a battle that cracked open an empire, a battle that changed the Middle East forever, and it was over in a single afternoon. But here's what makes it so extraordinary. The side that won was outnumbered 3-1. The year is 633. The Persian Empire is the superpower of the East. 4 centuries of dominance, heavy armored cavalry, war elephants, thousands of professional archers, a treasury overflowing with gold. They had never lost a war that mattered. But something was coming out of the Arabian desert, something no one had planned for. A unified Arab force, driven by a new faith, had already torn through Byzantine Syria. Now they were turning east, toward Persia, toward Mesopotamia, toward the most fertile land in the known world. The Persians weren't afraid. Why would they be? These were desert tribes, no siege weapons, no heavy cavalry, no empire behind them. So the Persians assembled their army and marched out to finish it quickly. What they didn't know was that the Arabs had a commander unlike anyone they had ever faced. His name was Khalid ibn al-Walid, and he had been waiting for exactly this moment. Khalid didn't fight battles the way other commanders did. He didn't believe in raw strength. He believed in making his enemy commit to the wrong decision, and then punishing them for it. He had studied the Persians for months. He knew how they lined up. Heavy cavalry in the center, infantry on the wings, archers in the back, rigid, predictable. The same formation, battle after battle. Khalid decided to use that against them. The Persians chose a flat open plain at Walaja, river at their back. Plenty of room for cavalry to charge. Every advantage. On paper, this battle was already over. But here's what no one noticed. A river at your back means no escape route. The Persians had walked themselves into a corner. They just didn't know it yet. Khalid positioned his smaller force directly across from the Persian line. It looked like a standard frontal fight. That's exactly what he wanted them to think. What they couldn't see was what Khalid had done before the battle even started. He had taken 2 units of cavalry and moved them far out to each side, hidden, out of range of Persian scouts, waiting, silent. The center of the Arab line looked thin, vulnerable. The Persians saw weakness. They saw an easy win. The cavalry prepared to charge and break through. That was the moment Khalid had been engineering all along. The battle opened with arrows. Persian archers blanketed the Arab lines. The Arabs had fewer archers. They took hits. Their lines wavered. The Persian commander saw what he expected to see, a weaker enemy starting to crack. He gave the order. Thousands of heavy horsemen thundered forward. The ground shook. This was it. The decisive charge that would end the invasion. And then, the Arab center did something strange. They pulled back. Not a rout, not panic. A slow, controlled retreat, step by step. The Persians chased them. Of course they did. It looked like a victory unfolding in real time. The Persian commander committed everything. More cavalry, more infantry. The entire army surged forward, pushing deeper, pressing the advantage. And that's when they lost. As the Persians drove forward, their formation fell apart. Cavalry out ahead, infantry scrambling to keep up, flanks wide open. Khalid gave the signal. Both hidden cavalry units came in fast from the sides. They swept wide around the Persian flanks and closed in from behind. In minutes, the Persian army was completely surrounded. River at their back, Arabs on every side. The trap had been sprung. The Persians tried to break out. They charged left. The Arabs reformed and hit them from the right. They charged right, attacked from behind. Every direction they pushed, the answer was the same. More Arab cavalry, more Arab infantry pressing in. Khalid had drilled his units relentlessly. Every commander knew exactly what to do without being told. While the Persian chain of command was collapsing, the Arab army was operating like a single mind. The heat was brutal. The Persians had been cut off from water. Exhaustion set in fast. An hour earlier, they were confident attackers. Now, they were surrounded prey. It was over before most of them understood what had happened. By nightfall, the Persian army had been annihilated. Tens of thousands dead. The rest captured. Arab losses were minimal, but the battle itself was only the beginning. The destruction at Walaja ripped a hole in the Persian defensive line. There were no reserve forces nearby, nothing standing between the Arab army and the heart of Mesopotamia. Cities didn't wait to be attacked. They surrendered. The psychological shock was total. The empire that had ruled for 4 centuries couldn't stop a smaller desert force. Khalid's tactic wasn't new. Hannibal had done something similar at Cannae against Rome 900 years earlier. But Khalid pulled it off with a lighter, faster force on open terrain. And he did it through pure deception. Make your enemy commit to the wrong plan, then hit them before they can recover. The Persians thought they were winning until the exact moment they lost. That gap between confidence and collapse was where Khalid lived. The strategic consequences moved fast. Arab armies pushed deep into Mesopotamia. Rich river cities fell one after another. The agricultural wealth that had powered Persia for generations now funded a new empire rising in its place. The Sassanid dynasty was finished. Within 20 years of Walaja, it ceased to exist. And the pattern that played out on that plain is one that repeats across all of history. An established power meets something new. They fight using the old methods. They trust what worked before. They assume size and strength will be enough. They're wrong. Rome against the Germanic tribes. British cavalry against machine guns. The formula is always the same. The side that adapts survives. The side that doesn't get surrounded. The Persians at Walaja never understood what they were facing until it was too late to matter. Khalid understood. That was the difference. The plain at Walaja is quiet now. The river still runs. Nothing marks what happened there. But that afternoon, a smaller force surrounded an army 3 times its size and destroyed it completely. Not through strength, through knowledge, through seeing the battlefield as it actually was. Not as they hoped it would be. The Persians saw a weaker enemy ready to be crushed. Khalid saw a trap that hadn't been sprung yet. Only one of them was right, and that made all the difference.